Why does the middle class work more and earn less, while the rich work less and earn more? The answer lies in a truth they don't teach in school. There are 4 different types of income, and the poor depend on just one, the middle class on 2. But the rich master all 4 simultaneously. In the next few minutes, you're going to discover exactly what these 4 income types are, how each one works, and the step-by-step process to migrate from income that requires your time to income that multiplies your money while you sleep. Get ready, because this is going to reveal why you're stuck in the rat race and how to escape it permanently. Welcome to 10 Minutes of Wisdom, where we reveal money truths that transform lives. I'm Fancini, and today we're unveiling the 4 types of income that separate those who build wealth from those who merely survive. If you want to understand how the rich structure their finances to have multiple streams of money flowing constantly, hit that like button now and subscribe to the channel, because what's coming next is literally the roadmap to financial freedom. Let's start with the type that 95% of people depend on exclusively: active income. It's the most basic and also the most limiting form of making money. Active income is when you directly trade your time for money. You work 1 hour, you get paid for that hour. You stop working, you stop getting paid. Examples: employee salary, professional fees, freelancer hourly rates, sales. If you're a doctor, lawyer, teacher, company employee, or service provider, you live off active income. Here's the fundamental problem with active income. It has an absolute ceiling. You only have 24 hours in a day. Even if you worked all 24 hours, which is impossible, you could only earn 24 times your hourly rate. You're physically limited by available time. And there's another problem. Active income isn't scalable. If you want to earn double, you need to work double. Want to earn 10 times more? You need to work 10 times more, which is literally impossible. You're stuck in a linear relationship. More work equals more money, less work equals less money. Worse yet, active income stops completely when you stop. If you get sick, if you take vacation, if you age and can no longer work, the income disappears immediately. You're a slave to continuous work. Now, I'm not saying active income is bad. Everyone starts with it. I started with it, you probably started with it. It's necessary in the beginning, but the fatal mistake most people make is stopping here. They spend 40 years depending exclusively on active income and wonder why they never get rich. The rich use active income only as a springboard. They work intensely in the beginning, but with a clear goal: accumulate capital and knowledge to migrate to the other 3 types of income. If you want to build real wealth, you need to see active income as a temporary phase, not a final destination. Now to the second type, which changes everything: passive income. This is income that keeps coming even when you're not actively working. You did the work once, but the money keeps flowing repeatedly. Classic examples: rental property income, stock dividends, automated business income, digital products that sell automatically, affiliate systems, evergreen online courses, intellectual property licensing. The magic of passive income is that it breaks the direct relationship between time and money. You can be sleeping, traveling, spending time with family, and the money keeps coming in. You've created an asset that generates cash flow without your constant presence. But here's what many people don't understand. Passive income isn't really passive in the beginning. There's intense initial work. You need to buy the property, do due diligence, manage tenants. You need to create the course, set up the sales system, build the audience. You need to build the business, systematize processes, train the team. The difference is that this initial work creates an asset that keeps paying indefinitely. It's multiplier effort, not linear effort. You work once, earn many times. The rich understand that passive income is real freedom. When your monthly expenses are covered by passive income, you no longer need to work out of obligation. You work by choice, by passion, by purpose. That's the real definition of financial independence. And here's a powerful truth. You don't need millions to start building passive income. You can start small. Rent a room in your house on Airbnb. Create a small online course about something you master. Buy a stock that pays monthly dividends. Start with what you have, where you are. The mistake most people make is waiting to have a lot of money to start. But the rich do the opposite. They start building passive income with little and use the cash flow from that income to build more passive income. It's a snowball effect. Now the third type, which the very rich master, portfolio income. This is income that comes from the growth and value of your assets, not just from the cash flow they generate. It's capital gains, not operational income. Examples: stock appreciation, startup investment growth, real estate appreciation, cryptocurrencies that multiply in value, art that appreciates, businesses that grow in valuation. The crucial difference between passive income and portfolio income is this. Passive income is about regular cash flow. Portfolio income is about multiplying capital over time. A property you rent generates passive income through monthly rent. But that same property appreciating 10% annually generates portfolio income through appreciation. The rich seek assets that do both, generate cash flow, and appreciate in value. Warren Buffett built one of the world's largest fortunes primarily through portfolio income. He buys shares of undervalued companies, waits years, and sells when they're valued higher. The capital growth is exponential. Here's why portfolio income is so powerful. It benefits from compound interest. If you invest $10,000 and it grows 10% annually, in the first year you earn $1,000. But in the second year, you earn 10% of $11,000, which is $1,100. In the third year, 10% of $2,100, which is $1,200. The growth accelerates over time. Albert Einstein supposedly said that compound interest is the most powerful force in the universe. Portfolio income captures that force, but it has a challenge. It requires patience and initial capital. You need to have money that can stay invested for years without touching it, and you need the stomach to handle volatility. Most people can't build portfolio income because, 1, they don't have initial capital because they spend everything on active income. 2, they don't have patience to wait years. 3, they panic when the market drops and sell at the worst possible time. The rich think differently. They live below their means to accumulate capital to invest. They invest consistently for decades, not months. And they see market drops as buying opportunities, not reasons to panic. And now the fourth type, the most sophisticated and scalable of all, royalty income. This is income you receive when others use your intellectual property, brand, or system. It's like passive income on steroids because it has no physical limits. Examples: book royalties, music royalties, business franchising, invention patents, licensed brands, licensed technology, characters you created. Why are royalties so powerful? Because they scale infinitely. A book can be sold millions of times, and you receive for each sale. A song can be played billions of times on streaming, generating continuous income. A franchise can have hundreds of units paying monthly royalties. J.K. Rowling wrote Harry Potter once, but she receives royalties every time a book is sold, a movie is watched, a product is licensed, a theme park sells a ticket. She transformed creativity into an asset that generates billions. Ray Kroc didn't create the original McDonald's, but he created the franchise system. He receives royalties from every unit in the world. That's royalty income on massive scale. Here's the beauty of royalties. They reward creation once and pay forever. You create value up front and reap benefits for decades, sometimes generations. There are families that still receive royalties from songs or inventions created by grandparents who have passed away. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm not an author, musician, or inventor. How does this apply to me? Here's the truth. In the modern digital world, anyone can create intellectual property that generates royalties. You can create YouTube content that generates continuous advertising revenue. You can write ebooks that sell automatically. You can create templates, designs, photographs on platforms that pay every time someone uses them. You can develop apps, plugins, software that others license. The royalty mindset is about asking, how do I create value once that can be multiplied infinitely? It's a scalability mindset, not a time for money barter mindset. Here's how the rich really structure their finances. They don't depend on one type of income. They build all four simultaneously, creating resilience and exponential growth. Phase 1. They start with active income, but maximize their hourly value. They develop rare skills, negotiate aggressively, work intelligently. Phase 2. They use active income to build passive income. They buy properties to rent, invest in dividend-paying businesses, create digital products. They don't spend everything they earn, they invest aggressively. Phase 3. Simultaneously, they build portfolio income. They invest in stocks, startups, cryptocurrencies, any asset that has potential to multiply in value. They think in decades, not quarters. Phase 4. Meanwhile, they create intellectual property assets that generate royalties. They write, create, invent, build brands. They transform knowledge and creativity into perpetual assets. And here's the magic. Eventually, types 2, 3, and 4 grow so much that active income becomes optional. They continue working, but for passion, not necessity. That's true financial freedom. Most people do the opposite. They maximize active income, spend everything on consumption, and never build the other types. They stay trapped in the rat race for decades. So here's your crucial question. How many types of income do you depend on today? If the answer is just one, active income, you're in the danger zone. If you lose that source, you lose everything. Here's your immediate action plan. First, keep maximizing your active income. Be exceptional at what you do, negotiate better, charge more. Second, allocate at least 20% of your active income to build passive income. Start small, but start today. Third, set aside at least 10% to invest in long-term portfolio income. Stocks, index funds, real estate, any asset that grows with time. Fourth, dedicate a few hours per week to creating intellectual property. Write, create content, develop systems, plant seeds for future royalties. The journey from single active income to 4 income types takes years. But every month you delay, you add more years to the process. Start now, even imperfect, even small. If this video revealed to you the real structure of how the rich think about income, hit that like button now. Subscribe to the channel because we keep revealing financial strategies that actually work. And comment below, how many income types do you depend on today? And which one will you start building first? I want to know your journey. Remember, you don't have to choose between the 4 types. The rich don't choose, they build all simultaneously. That's the difference between surviving and thriving, between working until you die and living with freedom. See you in the next video. Until then, stop trading time for money and start multiplying money. Through assets, your financial freedom depends on it.